In 1978, I was 19 years old, and I was living at the YMCA in downtown Minneapolis. And the village people were singing about how much fun they were having at the Y, and I'm looking around going, where are all these people having fun? Because it was horrible. Nothing was good about living at the YMCA in the late 70s. And every single document in this bill, I didn't possess. I didn't have a driver's license. I had just moved here from Wisconsin. I didn't have a residency requirement. And the election was coming up in November, and I was bummed out because I wasn't going to be able to vote in my second election. And then I found out from a guy I had just recently befriended that in Minnesota, I can vouch for you at the polls, and you can vote. And I'm like, you mean I don't need any evidence? You can just vouch for me that I am who I am? And he said, yeah. And I thought to myself, wow, Minnesota, you got it right. I'm looking at this document that talks about all the things you need a photo ID for. Fishing license is not on the list. I thought that was interesting. You need a photo ID to cash a check. You need a photo ID to order an adult beverage. As I said, you need a photo ID for a fishing license. But none of the things in this document are in the Constitution. The Constitution enshrines for us the right to vote. The 15th Amendment, the 19th Amendment, the 23rd Amendment. In the 1950s, the residents of Washington, D.C., could not cast a ballot for President of the United States. That's unheard of to us today. The 26th Amendment, all those amendments expanded the right to vote because we believed it to be the right thing to do. I've heard the words today about voting should be comfortable. It should be welcoming. The first time I voted in Minnesota, the voter turnout was 57.9%. In 2020, it was 79.96%. We're going to get it to 80. But the reason that number has increased is because we have made it more welcoming. We have made it more comfortable. We celebrate progress. We celebrate progress in technology. We celebrate progress in the economy. We celebrate progress in the environmental movement. Why aren't we celebrating progress in the right to vote? 25 states, since the Crawford Supreme Court decision, have made further restrictions on this wonderful right, the right to vote. In Philadelphia, in the 1700s, we began this experiment. It's the longest ongoing experiment in world history, representative democracy. And that experiment that began in Philadelphia has spread across the continent over the next 200 and some odd years. The Constitution begins with the words, we the people. Yeah, the people that want to be welcomed. The people that want to be welcomed at the polls. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. It's a work in progress. Voting is a work in progress. The Lincoln in his Gettysburg Address, which, by the way, was shorter than my speech, he ends with, government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. In our fellow chamber over here, above the speaker, it says, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. We need to be more inclusive, not less inclusive. It is a civic duty to vote, from township elections to presidential elections. Let's not impede the progress we've made in this great American experiment.